Well, Leni, what'd you think of that interview with Carol Clary?
That was wonderful. I thought, what a remarkable woman. I love her dedication, and especially with the water thing, because I think that is so important.
I wish we could have had her talk more on that, and maybe we have her back sometime just to talk about that because it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't just impact Mexico, Baja here. It's impacting the United States as well. Imperial Beach, Coronado. I mean, the oceans.
Yeah.
It goes out,
Everywhere.
everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah.
It's impacting all of us.
Yeah, I would love to learn a little bit more about that because, without water, I mean, next to oxygen, water is really more very, very important. So,
and how we're polluting the oceans, and then how that impacts all the life within oceans. Yeah, it's pretty
it's
daunting to me. But she has kept persistent on it, and has even worked with the government here about it. I believe she's close to a turning point about bringing about change. You know how that tipping point.
mm-hmm.
All these years of work and frustration for her, I think is close. Yeah, it's close.
Wow, she's quite humble too.
Yeah, she's very humble.
Yeah, I love that.
And I loved her comment about allowing her legs to take her wherever, and that she just sees wherever she goes as a blessing, but also as a learning.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm going to practice that. She blessed her hands and her feet before she leaves somewhere.
Yes.
I think that is so important to just take a moment because, a lot of times we rush around and we go from one thing to the next rather than just for a few seconds or a minute stop and have a little bit of reflection before we rush on to the next thing. And I know for myself that when I do that, I don't always do it, but when I do it, it makes a difference. Yeah. It really does. When I tell myself, don't be in a rush, just slow down, just take a moment.
I think too, it's about setting an intention. How you mm-hmm. even mentioned, really thinking about your day, but thinking about how you want to be within that day. I want to be a person of light and love. Mm-hmm. That's how I'm going through this day. And really taking just, what is that? Just a few moments to really say that out loud to oneself, right?
Yeah, I try to do that in the morning. Just take maybe 15 minutes and I think about how I want my day to go and how I want to be in this day. Integral, kind, non-judgmental. I fail on that one all the time. But just sort of setting an intention for myself and my behavior. How am I going to think? How am I going to speak? And how am I going to behave? And I think when in the habit of doing so, it does start working. It really does make a difference. Yeah. So
and I think it forces, not force, that's the wrong word perhaps, but puts us in a place of being mindful mm-hmm. and being more present to that day, to that moment, right?
And also by the repetition of doing it every morning, as in my case, you are starting to train your subconscious mind, which then will kick in and help.
Yeah.
So anyway, I thought that was a wonderful interview. I'm glad she came.
Yes, I'm glad she came too. Maybe she'll come back because I know she has a lot more to talk about.
I have no doubt. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.